Hey there, I'm out on a walk and wanted to capture an idea. So I've been recording some podcast episodes lately about like what is coaching, and you may or may not know that I love metaphors. And the metaphor that I've recently been kind of playing with is this idea that coaching is like cooking. Coaching is like cooking. So if we look at the example of cooking, there is no one right way to cook. There's no one way. There's no like board, universal board of cooking that says that's cooking and that's not cooking, right? I think there's tons of different ways that you could cook. And under the umbrella of cooking are a lot of culinary schools that you can sign up for to go and learn their way of cooking, their methods, their techniques, their tools, their practices, their philosophy. Just like if you want to be a coach or if you want to pursue the field of coaching, there are lots of different certifications. There are many different coaching schools and paradigms and ideas. And if you are a learner or if you lead with input, you might just love learning about and going to all these different certifications. Just like if you loved cooking, you might just love going to different culinary schools and learning how to cook. But no culinary school is the right way to cook. I'm sure there are some culinary schools and some chefs that might say, well, if you really want to be a cook, then you have to go to this one, or you have to do it this way. But I kind of take the opposite approach. I'd say there is no one right way. There's no one right culinary school. There's no one right coaching paradigm or coaching framework. Coaching is all of these things together. Not to mention all of the things that you were really good at and skilled at before you went to your first coaching certification, if you went to one. So the metaphor that where I like to take this is that once you graduate from culinary school, you've got the tools and the tricks and the ways of dicing the onions and making the sauces, and you get to go out and open up a food truck. And when you run your own food truck, guess what? You get to do things however you'd like. You get to take tools from one place and ideas from another place and all of the ways you liked to cook even before you went to those culinary schools, and you get to figure out who you are as a cook and as a chef, and you get to serve the kind of food that is yours to create and nourish people with. Now, some people when they graduate culinary school don't want to deal with opening and running a food truck, because there's more to it than just cooking, right? If you're like, well, I want to open up my own thing, I want to run my own food truck, i.e. coaching practice, we can't just sit in the back of the food truck and cook. Oh, there's a sweet dog. Look at that beautiful puppy. You can't just sit in the back of a food truck and cook and just hope that people find it. You've got to do all these other things. You have to tell people about your food truck and find fairs to go to, and you have to share what it is that you're cooking, and you have to invite people to taste test things, and you have to promote it and market it and share it. There's a lot more to having a successful food truck than just loving to cook, right? If you really just want to cook, you go get a job at a restaurant. You go find a job at a restaurant, hopefully a restaurant that's aligned with your values and how you see the world of food, and you just cook. You don't have to run the restaurant. Let them run the restaurant. They'll bring the customers in. Yes, you're going to have to cook to their menu. Yes, you may have to adopt their style, but you don't have to do any of the other stuff. And I think the same is true for coaching. If you want to do your own thing as a coach, if you want to have your own coaching truck, yes, it's about you finding your style. The perks of that is you get to do it your way. You can pull pieces from all of your different trainings, all of the ways you like helping and nourishing and serving people, and you get to figure out what your unique coaching style is. And you got to run the truck. You have to do all the other stuff like this. Telling people about your work, sharing, shining your light, inviting people to participate. Or Hello, children.
Hi.
Those are my kids. Or you could go get a job. You go work for someone else's restaurant, which is a totally valid and awesome thing to do if all you want to do is cook or coach. But that too comes with its own shadow side, right? We give some things up, we have to take other things on, and vice versa. So anyway, I'm curious what you hear in this. I really, really like this metaphor. Just thinking about your certifications as being like different culinary schools, that once you've graduated, even if you haven't graduated, I've worked with some coaches who get to the ends of their certifications and they're like, this has totally sucked the life out of me. This is not what I thought it was going to be. I don't know that I'm going to go through the final steps of like getting the gold star here. Well, guess what? You don't have to graduate from the cordon bleu to use the way they taught you to chop onions. You can still make sauces just like they taught you without that little certificate hanging on the side of your food truck. So anyway, lots of places we could take this, but I just wanted to capture it here. I hope it's helped you. I invite you to share your comments.